All right, welcome back, everybody. So at the moment, we've got a character. He's jumping around. The animations are proper, and we are now able to have a great-looking character as well as a great-looking background. And you could spend a bunch of time doing some nice level design for level one, but at some point in time, you're going to need a goal, somewhere to get to, so that you can finish level one and maybe move on to level two. And that's what I'd like to look at adding today is this goal. So first thing I'm going to need is some kind of graphic for that. And I happen to go to, where are we here? I went to Kenny's website and I got the Platformer Art Deluxe package here, which is a great big collection of all sorts of different blocks and things like that. And I noticed there's some flags and keys and doors, and you could add little mushrooms and switches and all sorts of stuff that you could create a really cool looking um, environment with. So I've downloaded that and there we go. I'm going to go into my base pack and I think there's an items here. And if I'm not mistaken, we can now look at, yeah, we got some flags. So I'm thinking my goal is going to be a flag, but you've got coins here, you've got buttons, chains, keys, all sorts of things that you want here. We even looked like we've got an animated flag if I wanted to make that. In fact, that sounds like a great idea. So let's make an animated flag. So I'm going to grab those two, copy them, and then just put them into my folder. I've got that graphics folder there, and I'm going to paste the flag here so that I could create a nice little goal to get to. So for this, much like with the player, I'm going to add a new scene because I'm going to want to use this goal on each level. And maybe if you wanted different goals for different levels, you could certainly do that. But it's kind of nice from a game design perspective to keep the same goal so I know what I'm looking for. Now I've got my flag there, but I need a node that I'm going to try and get to. And if we consider the nodes we've used so far, don't really, this is not really a character. I'm not moving it or controlling it. Similarly, it's not really a tile map because I don't want to have to walk and stand on the flag. I actually want to get the flag, pick it up, and collect it, if you will. So we don't want really a physics object that we can use here. So we need a new kind of node that's going to be useful for things like doors, checkpoints, collectibles like keys and coins and weapons, and or in this case, a flag that's going to be a goal. So we do have a node specifically designed for that, and this is called an area 2D. So if you search for area, it's your area 2D. Notice the description here is a region of 2D space that detects other collision objects entering or exiting it. Great. So my character, my player, is a collision object, as are the tile maps and other things that I've landed on, but this is something that detects when a collision object hits it, which is going to be exactly what I want here. Now it works very, very similar. In this case, I'm going to call this a goal. It works similar to all the other things we've made. It has no space or shape or graphic or anything like that. So, and we get the same error saying there's no collision shape on this. So just like with the player and other things, we take that area 2D and I need to add to it a sprite. In this case, I've got an animated sprite because I noticed I had two little flags there. And let's create a animation sprite frames. We're going to add some new sprite frames there. And I can do like I did with the player. Let's grab the two flags here. And if I play that, that looks like a little waving flag. Perfect. Now, I don't think we did this in a previous video, but unlike the player, this flag's not going to wave. I'm not going to press a key and have it wave. I just want it to automatically keep playing through that animation. That's not the default setting, but on your animation, right here, there's a little autoplay on load. You'll see, along with the add animation, delete animation. So if I click that, then when the game plays, it's automatically going to start waving. So for instance, if I play that here, let's save. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I can see it up in the corner there. It's hidden away, but it is in fact animating. So that'll automatically start animating. Now we also need to add a collision shape like I've done in the past as well. So I know when I hit it, and that shape is going to be a rectangle. And then all I have to do is drag that collision shape around so that my flag is ready to go. And if I save this scene, now I've got a goal and I can reuse this goal on multiple levels later on. And I can easily tweak it and change it should I need to and add scripts and things like that. So let's throw our goal into level one. Go back onto level one here, and I would figure out where I want it to be. At the beginning, I'm going to put it close to my player just so I can test out that it works. So I am going to click on level one. I'm going to link or instantiate a child scene, and there's that goal I just created, and it should pop up in the corner here, and now I can just grab it, and I'm going to pop it down here for the player. And if I play my level, you'll see there's my waving flag. Great. And I can go up and try and collect that flag and get to it. And you can see nothing happens. It's there, it's waving around, but I don't have any, it's not solid. So notice I can't stand on it, unlike other things. It doesn't really do anything at the moment because I haven't said what to do when you hit the flag. So let's look at that. And to understand how this is going to work, how this program is going to work, we need to understand a little bit about how Godot has set up different nodes to interact with each other. At the moment, you have some interaction. At the moment, you know this player hits the solid floor and he stops. There's an interaction there, and that's been programmed into Godot already. We currently have an area which has no programming associated with it that we know of, but we want something specific to happen when we hit the goal. I want to go and make a new level, and I want to move to that new level. So, in fact, I have just created a new scene here. Oops, and I called it level 2. And it's currently empty. There's nothing in there, but you can see I have a level 2 scene just so I have somewhere to go when I hit that goal. So with a place to go, and probably the easiest way if you wanted to keep moving and making new levels would be to take level 1 scene and go save scene as, and we could call that level 2. In fact, let's do that so I have something to work with on level 2. So I'm going to say save scene as level 2. And then yes, I want to overwrite the one I just built. Oh, it says I can't do it because I've closed this scene. Close this tab. There we go. Try that again. I'm going to save scene as level 2. Yes, and now I have a level 2. It's exactly the same as level 1, so I'm going to get a little confused. So let me just, I don't know, let's go tile map. I'm going to just erase a bunch of things here. So I know that I've changed to a different level. I'll keep my player, I'll keep the goal for another purpose, but now I have level 2. Probably want to, just so I don't get confused, label that level 2. So that's a great way of not having to recreate everything from scratch, although you absolutely can if you want. Um, so I'm going to save that scene, and I'm going to switch back to my level 1. There we go. Now I know I'm level 1 because I have those platforms there. So the idea being is that I want to have the player hit the goal and then change. But at the moment, how do I know when that happens and how do I set some code? Well, there's a hidden feature, not really hidden, but it's been hidden to us so far in Godot, which allows different nodes to communicate and know what's happening when they interact. And it's set up over here, right beside the inspector. There's a little tab called Node. And this node lets us know about all of the built-in features, things that Godot has programmed that we don't need to worry about for us. And these are called signals. And essentially, they're happening all the time. We just don't necessarily do anything. with them. And different nodes have different built-in signals. So you can see there is the default node. All nodes have a ready signal and a tree entered and a tree exited and different things. And we've actually used this ready. This ready is built in. Notice on our script on all of nodes, there's a function ready. At this point, it prints hello. So back to my goal here. And notice goal has got a collision body, it's got canvas, it's got a bunch of things that we haven't worked with here, but there is a specific one for area 2D. And here are the signals that all area 2Ds have. They have some area entering them. They have a body entering them. They have a shape entering and certain ones here. And the ones we're really concerned about here is this body entered signal. So what happens is when a body, a physics body, be that the character or a tile map or anything like that, enters or crosses the collision shape of an area, this signal, bing, gets emitted. And this happens all the time. It's constantly happening, but right now we have no result of that. So this signal happens, notice if you hover over top, emitted when a received body enters this area. Body can be a physics body, tile map, or a tile set. So I would like to say, well, when that happens, I want to do something. In this case, I want to change levels. Now the signal needs to go somewhere. Think of it a little bit like a radio station. So I have an area 2D here. It's got a little radio tower on there, and it's constantly sending out signals when certain things happen. At the moment, by default, nothing happens, but as soon as a body, let's say it's my player here, as soon as the body touches the area, that signal gets sent out to say, oh, a body has entered, has crossed the collision shape here. Now I need to know what's going to happen. And first of all, just sending it out there doesn't do anything. We need to know who's listening. There's my terribly drawn little ear there. So we need to set up what's called a listener, somebody who's going to say, what happens when that emergency signal sends out? Boop, boop, boop. A body has entered into the flag. And for that, we need some kind of script. So the only script I currently have is the player. But for reasons that I think we'll see a little bit later on, I would actually like the goal to figure out what it's supposed to do when something hits it. And I want to keep that in the goal, with the goal, so that my goal scene is easily movable. I can put it on any level and it will always know what to do when a player or maybe a different player were to enter into it. So on the goal, I'm going to add a script to this. And do that just by clicking that little add script, just like we did with the player. And oh, I've already done this in a previous video there, so I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. So we've got our blank script all ready to go, and that's all I need to do with that. I'm just going to save it and then go back to my level 1. I guess we can actually do this in the goal. So I've got my body entered here, and I'm putting it on this goal so it works on all of my different levels when I make it happen. I'm going to say I'm going to double click this signal, and what this is doing is it's connecting a signal to some kind of a method here in this case, but it's like a function. It's something that is going to happen. I connect this signal to a set of instructions, and the signal is a body is entered. And now I got to figure out where I can connect it to. Well, the only place I can connect it to is a script, and the script I put there is just the goal. So I'm going to say connect. If there were multiple things, I could connect it to multiple different scripts, but I'm going to connect it to my goal here. And there it opens up that script I just made. Right now there's nothing here, it doesn't really do anything, but it has added a new function here saying on body entered, and it sends it a body. We can talk a little bit about how this works a little bit later, but I also want you to notice here that there's a little green arrow. And notice there's a little green arrow over there, which is basically this signal is sending something out. And this is an indication that a signal is coming in and is going to trigger this. So now I could do something like, oh, I'm going to print hit the flag. So we could have anything happen here. Any series of actions or whatever we want to do is basically this is the incoming, the signals coming in, and I say, what do I want to do when I hear this signal? So if I switch back to my level 1 there, we can see that that works. I'm going to post that over here. Oh, hit the flag, hit the flag. Oh, I've added a little debugging feature to my player, so let me just erase that. It's a print statement somewhere here, print. There we go, get rid of that one just so you can see it. There we go. So there's that hello world that I printed before, and now I move over to the flag and I hit the flag and it says hit the flag. And every time I hit the flag and walk away, notice it doesn't keep on doing it because the body only enters once. We've said hit the flag just down here. So now I've been able to control what happens when a body enters the flag. I send a signal to the goal script and I say what I want to do. In this case, I don't really want to know that I hit the flag. I'm watching that there. So when I hit the flag, I want to be able to switch to level 2. So instead of printing this, let's add that feature. And this one's a little bit odd. The resources, all these files down here is called our tree, a resource tree. So we use the following function, get tree. So I need to go into that tree over there, period. And you'll see a bunch of different functions that are part of this. And very nicely, what I want to do is change the scene. Right now I'm on level 1 scene and I want to change the scene to level 2. And you will see there is a change scene to file. So I want to load a different file up. And if I just put the quotes there, you'll see actually it gives me a list of all of the possible scene files that I could change to. In this case, I want to change to level 2. And you need this exactly like that. It's in the resources level2.tscn. So rather than typing that, I just let GODOT fix it for me. And so just like instead of printing now, I want to go into the tree. I want to change the current scene to a file, and that file is the level2.tscn. So if I play now, you can see that we can now move from level 1 to level 2, and I'm now on level 2. And now level 2 needs a bunch of level design. And you can see I've got that same flag there, so it just keeps on reloading level 2 every single time. But later on, I'll show you how you can switch to different levels as you go. So a little bit complicated, but now you understand that you can switch over to Node, that Node tab there, from the inspector to see all of the signals available for any particular node. And the idea is that we link them up, we send that signal to a listener or some kind of script that says, hey, when I hear this signal, I want to do something in particular. Many of these are already happening with built-in Godot features, but now you at least can see all of the ones that are available there. And there's lots of great ones. We can have mouse entered, or we can do some input, or we're drawing these shapes. And we can later on also add our own custom signals to have something happen when we want to program something unique that Godot didn't think about. But Godot has given us a bunch because it says, well, we probably want to figure out some kind of collision. So let's put that there and make it available for programmers to create something nice and new and interesting. So go ahead now. You've got 2 levels to kind of work with, and we'll also see what other areas can do in our next video.